Coming up on DITV, election season is here again, but for a different group of people.
We'll tell you about the University of Iowa student government's upcoming election and who you can vote for.
And we'll see the different presidential candidates running and their platforms.
Does Iowa have a trip to Tampa and the Final Four in store?
You're probably not going to like the answer in sports.
We have some rain this morning. I'll tell you what you can expect for today's weather later on.
All that and more coming up on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Mackenzie Cooper.
And I'm John Chenoweth.
It's time for another election here at the University of Iowa for student government. The polls open Wednesday and they close Thursday, and voting will take place on MyUI. Are you ready, John?
Well, Mackenzie, I don't know if I'm ready to vote. I don't know a lot about the tickets and who's involved in running for president.
Well, don't worry. By the end of the show, we will know more about the 3 tickets running for seats. Let's see who our first option is.
Ignite Iowa is one of the 3 tickets running for election. The ticket focuses on increasing transparency in student government, promoting equality and sustainability. It is led by presidential candidate Noel Males and vice presidential candidate Sarah Henry. It also includes 21 other candidates. The party also is looking to increase connections between student athletes and UISG and the rest of the University of Iowa campus. To help make this happen is UI men's tennis team member Jason Kirst running for a senatorial position on the ticket. Ignite Iowa is focused on advocating for the financial needs of students beyond increasing access for them. They hope to get the student perspective heard instead of overlooked.
This UISG ticket uses the sun as its symbol to shed light on various issues around campus. Inspire UI has 20 senators with presidential candidate Alexia Sanchez and vice presidential candidate Mahari Bakhel. The ticket hopes to bring implicit bias training to campus to teach faculty and staff about actions that may be taken as unintentional discrimination against minority groups. This is important to them in light of the hashtag #DoesUIWillLoveMe campaign that recently took place. In addition, they want to see diversity in staff at university counseling services to make it more comfortable for all backgrounds to talk about mental health. Inspire UI wants to bring transparency and accountability within UISG to provide students with more knowledge on the organization.
UI Charge is running on a platform that focuses on relationship building and working together to find creative solutions to campus problems. Running for the president on this ticket is Dede Mansoray and vice president candidate Adio Aro. This ticket has different perspectives from areas that are not traditionally represented in UISG, and dedication to the community is what makes UI Charge unique. They want to move university forward by building relationships that involve everyone. One area they want to focus on is increasing UISG's presence on campus and creating relationships with students. One way they hope to do this is by using a video to explain the organization and its role to the UI.
And now we can hear directly from the candidates themselves. DITV reporter Melissa Meter attended the UISG presidential debate last night, where these candidates talked about issues important to students.
The UISG presidential debate took place last night in Shambo Auditorium in the main library, where 3 candidates, Dede Mansoray, Alexia Sanchez, and Noel Mills, debated about various topics, one being how to improve the university's alcohol reduction plan. Nicole Mills addressed the alcohol reduction plan in terms of the FSL community and getting them involved.
I think students need to be at the table when we're having these conversations, and so involving those at-risk communities and explaining to them if action's being taken, why it's being taken, instead of just doing it.
Candidate Mansoray addressed the need for training.
Encouraging all students to take part in the CPR certification. You have someone in the community that can be able to lend a helping hand.
Sanchez wants to implement training incentives to improve the reduction plan.
There's a lot of really great conversations regarding medical amnesty, so making sure that that is being pushed for, not only here but also with our legislators, so we have a training incentive for everyone too.
Reporting from Shambo Auditorium in the main library, Melissa Meter, DITV News.
Well, Mackenzie, you know, it was raining this morning, but you know, they say April showers bring May flowers, so I'm hopeful that maybe this rain will get out of our way.
Yes, definitely. I agree. Hopefully, fingers crossed, but let's toss it over to Jacob to see what we can expect. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, guys, and I hope you're right. But starting off with our day, we're going to have some rain, unfortunately, this morning. Looking at today, we have a high of 56 with about a 50% chance of rain in the morning. That will dissipate as we move on into the evening, and then we'll start to see low tonight with clear skies throughout Tuesday night. And then moving on to your extended forecast, we're going to be looking at consistency. It's also going to it's going to increase in temperature throughout the week. We have a high of 51 for your Thursday with a 40% chance of rain in the morning. That will again dissipate as we move on into your evening. We'll have 40-degree lows for your Thursday, and then moving into Friday, we'll have cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 63 and a low of 46. Looking at your Monday, we will be seeing a 70-degree day, which is huge. We have a partly cloudy skies. Sun will be around for the most part throughout the day. Once we go into your evening on Monday, on Saturday, we will see a low of 54 degrees. And then moving into your Sunday, we're going to see, again, another round of rain in the morning with a high of around 72 and then a low of 53. So it looks like we're going to be having some pretty warm days coming up, but you're going to want to have your umbrella with you. That's all I have for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jacob. Iowa City's deer population is soaring and is causing chaos around the city, but settling on a solution has become more challenging than expected for the City Council. Daily Iron reporter Josie Fischels is in the newsroom to tell us more. Good morning, Josie.
Good morning, Mackenzie.
So how does the City Council hope to bring down the deer population?
Yeah, it's difficult to say exactly what City Council wants until its members come to a unanimous agreement. But overall, the lean has been towards sharpshooting deer as the only effective way to manage the population.
So why hasn't a solution been reached?
Yeah, getting a deer population management plan approved by the state has been increasingly difficult for the City Council for the past year because of how the city wants to manage the deer population and how the NRC wants to manage it is very different.
So what are the restrictions the City Council is facing?
Really, the biggest restriction City Council is facing comes from the higher governing bodies above them that approve or reject their proposals. The state really wants to reduce the deer population by means of a public bow hunt, but others say that a bow hunt at this point will not be effective. Currently, the idea is that the NRC might approve a proposal that involves a 5-year plan that begins with 1 year of sharpshooting and then follows up with 4 years of some other way of managing the deer population.
Josie Fischels live in the newsroom. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, Mackenzie, I'll be honest, I'm pretty bummed about last night.
Yes, it was definitely a heartbreaker, and I mean, I guess we'll just have to see what else women's basketball and Megan Gustafson can do, because you know their season might be over yet, but I don't think we'll be seeing the last of them. But let's toss it over to Kim and John in the sports studio with more. Good morning.
Thanks, guys. Tough to see a senior go out that way. Wasn't really how we expected it.
Yeah, I was watching the game last night, and I can't say I was too happy with the ending.
In fact, the music stopped for Iowa last night as Iowa's trip to the dance came to an end.
Iowa fell to the #1 overall seed Baylor, 85-53 in the Elite Eight in the Greensboro Regional.
Not a whole lot went right for Iowa in this one as Baylor dominated the Hawks.
The lone bright spot for Iowa was, with this game, Megan Gustafson scored over 1,000 points this season and capped off her career as the best Iowa basketball player we have ever seen.
You know, I just try to do my job here at Iowa and just try to work hard every single day. You know, God has just blessed me with an amazing ability to play basketball, and I'm so blessed and thankful that University of Iowa chose me, and I chose them to play for them.
I'm going to try not to remember this game. To me, I'm going to remember cutting down the nets with these guys after winning a Big Ten championship. I'm going to remember Tanaya's resolve coming back. I'm going to remember Hannah Stewart's journey. I'm going to remember getting the opportunity to coach one of the best basketball players in America, and Megan, and that's what I'm going to remember.
You know, I'm not going to lie to you, I almost cried watching Megan.
Same here, John, but let's move on before we get too emotional. Now, both of Iowa's basketball team seasons are over, but obviously we're not done talking about them quite yet. Last week, Iowa guard Macy Daly announced that he will transfer and spend his senior season elsewhere.
With more, we have men's basketball beat reporter Declan Levy standing by in the newsroom with more.
Good morning, Declan.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing all right. Now, Declan, why is Daly entering his name in the transfer portal?
Yeah, it's probably a pretty simple conclusion for him. You look at where he was this year. He was the 9th man in the rotation, just averaging 2.5 points per game. And when you look at the team next year, there's going to be a whole lot of depth. You got Joe Toussaint coming in, 4-star recruit from New York at point guard. Then you got Pat McCaffrey, 5-star recruit. Everybody knows who he is, talk of the town. He's going to be big. And then you also got C.J. Fredericks, who's coming off of a red shirt, and he's a sharpshooter. So not a whole lot of room for him on the court.
Now, Declan, you mentioned those 2.5 points per game. How do they plan on replacing Daly's productivity?
Yeah, so the productivity that he came from on offense, well, that's not really his game. It's defense. He's probably the best defensive perimeter player that Iowa had. So it'll be Patrick McCaffrey. His athleticism will absolutely help, along with his 6'8" wingspan. He's going to be the key to replacing him on defense.
Thank you. Once again, that was Declan Levy reporting live in the newsroom.
There is no word yet on where Daly will end up next year.
Now, sticking with men's basketball, Jordan Bohannon is back at it again on Twitter.
That's right, John. Jordan responded to an article about players stealing rugs from the NCAA tournament with this picture and a caption that read, quote, "Give us the ability to make money off of our own name and we'll give you your rug back. You have 24 hours, end quote.
Less than 24 hours later, Bohannon issued this tweet, which said, quote, "After much deliberation, the NCAA has agreed with the U Iowa. The rug can stay in Iowa City as long as I issue a mea culpa. With that, I am sorry for my actions. No one is denying the incredible opportunities the NCAA provides for athletes like myself. I am forever grateful," end quote.
A lot of people are upset that the NCAA asked Bohannon to apologize, and several former college athletes are standing behind J-Bo.
Former Wisconsin player Frank Kaminsky responded to the tweet by saying, quote, "I took everything I could get my hands on, and I won't apologize for anything," end quote.
Well, at least at the end of the day, Nicholas Baer gets to keep the March Madness rug, even if J-Bo almost messed it up.
Now, while J-Bo and Baer were worried about keeping their rug, the women's tennis team was worried about an 0-4 start in Big Ten play.
The Hoosiers and the Hawkeyes needed just one more win to make the meet when Michelle McCullough came in clutch for Iowa as she completed the comeback to give the Hawkeyes a huge 4-3 win over Indiana.
Head coach Sasha Schmid was finally happy to see things going their direction.
You know, I really feel like when we came into the weekend, we were 0-4 in the Big Ten, and I don't think that was representative of our team or the level of our potential. And so, you know, I think the joy is even magnified because we've had so many hard, losses lately, and I think that being able to find something that you can celebrate is really great.
Iowa will look for their next Big Ten win when they host Rutgers this weekend.
That'll do it from us in the sports studio.
Come back tomorrow to see how one softball player balances both hitting and pitching.
Mackenzie and John, back to you.
If humans could live on Mars, NASA thinks houses would look like this.
This is just one of 3 designs picked as a finalist in its 3D printed habitat challenge.
The homes come with small holes for natural light, and one even has a small room for growing plants.
NASA tasked teams with designing shelters suitable to boldly go where no man has gone before. So John, would you move to Mars?
Honestly, I think I would. I mean, I don't know, if I could talk some aliens, maybe roam around my rover, I think it'd be a good time.
Yeah, I don't know if I would move there, but maybe go on vacation.
Yeah, vacation would be all right, I guess.
Well, thank you for tuning in to this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
And if that is enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now.
For DITV, I'm John Chenoweth.
And I'm Mackenzie Cooper. Have a great day, Iowa City.